Oh, shit. I don't think you guys understand how excited I am for this. You have no idea how long I've been wanting to play this game. Like, I wanted to do this for a long time, but I just never got around to it. I didn't have the hardware at the time and whatnot, but it's finally doing this. This just released, I think, a couple of days ago, so I'm actually a bit late for this, but well, whenever I say, I'm gonna do some Justice Ace Attorney here. This is the Trilogy version. Link to it from the Steam will be down below there. I have played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy there. I have yet to beat the full game for that. I have it on a Switch right now. I'm gonna do something different this time. I'm playing both this trilogy as well as the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. As well, I'm kind of gonna be segmenting these into double releases, one for each trilogy there. Kind of breaking the rule and going in order of the game, just to make this the fourth game in this, but I say fuck it, let's get going for this, because I am so and of course, what better way to start off with than with Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. First one, oh my god, this looks so good! I'm so excited, let's go. And if I do get a dash cam, you know what? I'm just gonna shut up. Episode 1, Turnabout Trump. And see what's going on with this. Okay. Alright, this time. Okay. Showdown time. You lose. Oh. Oh. Welp. That's not it. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should have come to that. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Panicked. I'm sweaty. Back in a minute, I'm nervous. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No, I'm just fine. That's screechy noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's too late. First trial, and it's a homicide. This justice doesn't start small, huh? I'm fine. I have a 5 a.m. in my door to stale voice. Fine. Excellent. I did detect a certain raspy quality to your speech. Well, we did it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you would. I've forgotten something. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. Can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. It might take you away. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Well, that's a good idea, Christoph. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. Today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. A boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Who's this? This game is just so good right now. Whoa! Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So you're... Fine. I'm fine. Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Oh, we're off to a great start. Yes, we are, Paul. Yes, we are. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend, so why... You'll see. You'll see. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you, It's time. Shall we? Yes, sir. Alright, our first trial. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice. 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2. Oh my god, it's been such a long time since I've seen this style of text. This is gonna be very good. Who's that? Court is now in session. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Hey? That's what he looks like in this one? Oh my god. So let's see. I remember his bald ass. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mind went blank. Don't panic. Too late. Name was Mr. Justice. This is your first trial. Yes, Your Honor. I'm fine. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strange. Mr. Gavin. Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading this case. That was my intention, yes. However, the defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. I specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. I trust this case to this greenhorn. Why? You're not exactly want to say that you are the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience. Fine. So you have court is stale. Then let's begin. Defendant may enter the court. Oh, hey, it's this guy. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. Sorry way to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days I'm merely Phoenix Wright. Piano player. Mr. Wright? How could this have happened? I won't speak of it further then. The prosecution will be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. I think I saw you into this room a fresh attorney. And now I'll see you leave in chains. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. The crime occurred at the Borscht Boat Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and hit him. Where? On the head. Smack. Killed him. Customer at the restaurant, you say. Defendant, you say he was a pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright, a pianist. This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. This is apparently a defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. For record, here's the defendant must write supremacy. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Like a practice of checking it frequently. Oh, you mean this thing? How long did I yearn for one of these? Just put it on this for me. That's a single word for it. I'm literally psyching myself out right now. Oh my god, it's been a long time since I've seen this. Well, this in general. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so close here. frequently. The court record. Right, I've heard of that. Use whatever button you have. I have E. Use E to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, just use E. So it's time for some hands-on action. So the victim was a customer. But just who was this Shady Eye Smith? I believe he was a traveler here. A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He only returned to this country recently. His place of residence is unclear. He had some sort of connection with the family. That, too, is unclear at this point. I believe they first met at the Bowl Club on the night. If they only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano player. That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, it would have had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of points. At least not piano. I'll let this photo explain that. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself. Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basis. Objection! It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. It was only that, a game, exercise, competition. Competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, the backs, least final. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in its attempt and impressive. That will be our first order of business here. I know more about this fatal game of cards. Very well then, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. This testimony. Oh, here we go. I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. Our real job is to take customers over the poker table. When are we playing in the competition there are the club's main attractions. Rules are simple. Play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game. And our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Bane's doing some real shady shit. Very well. Defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? Sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. Bane feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examination. Oh, you've never done it yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? You know what? It's been a while since I'm doing this. Why not? Better safe than sorry, especially this okay? Yes, teach me. I know that. Indeed. Your job, Justice. Be mindful of the court record and the testimony. For inconsistencies in the testimony, what the court record tells you. When you found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record. But I didn't hear anything strong on the testimony just now. I'm going to sign that you need to press the witness. Again, you can adjust the controls to your liking. This is just a basic when you start out with. Press him? Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. What is this to write my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes! Thank you, sir. I think I can do it. I think you'd better, or we're gonna have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony. Deal with it. That is cross-examination. When it's inconsistencies? Lies? Phoenix, right? As if Phoenix would never lie. It's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Cross-examination. Competition. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. Hold it! You can hardly play? Oh, I play sometimes. when customers demand it. I play them one song. That's usually all. Is that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of Pianist is a mask. Respectable face that I wear for work. Why are you really at the Worshipful Club? My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional, after all. I'd like to take pride in that statement. Shit-eating grin. It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes, your imagination is always limited to an extent. What? I've played poker for 7 years now. And I've never lost once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite draw. You've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. Poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? Whom are we playing the competition on the club's main attractions? Room in the crime scene photo. It's an attraction? It's quite a history, actually. Oh, the Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back. Black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say, there were a lot of deals being made. Right there in that room, smoky room, gambling huts. You know, just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. Bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through a small window. You can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but no less. The room had a few other tricks to it. Though it was common knowledge to our viewers. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. I'm sure it is. Excuse me. Something to drink. There we go. That's better. The rules are simple. Play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. Hold it! 2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. That is actually kind of good. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lines scattered on them. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards up on the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. The crime scene painted blue. A sad suite of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards in the club. One deck of cards is red, the other blue. To recall, in poker, you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, game of hands. This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It's a small game, after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment the crime occurred. But you claim no connection to the crime. Now that's strange. What's strange? Let's testify about the competition that happens. Asking about the crime at this point is against the rules. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. See? Right. There's something I'd like to make clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. I'd like to hear from you. Sure, why not? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press. I've got myself a whole new testimony. Plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder.
Hold it!
Silence? The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything. Why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage. And it's your job to turn that around in your favor. Wait, I didn't have enough to do over. Then you technically thought about it. Huh? Wait, something said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. What was it? When you figured out, I suggest presenting evidence. Evidence that contradicts the testimony. Contradiction of Mr. Wright's testimony? But why? I gotta check the court record. Imagine Mr. Wright lying in a testimony. It's a little early to be jumping to conclusions. This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. Any more information, don't forget to press. Right. I got it. Fine. Time to listen to that testimony again. We're not going to, of course. We already know this. If you look in the court record, let me just go to that section real quickly. Need silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. But it bears your prints.
Objection!
So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle, right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Bay? I examined the bottle in question. It was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. You need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. This yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. My court's a steal. Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. There's a way to prove you did it. How would he wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints? What? Fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Upside down? What does that mean? It's only bottle inverted. There'll be one reason for that. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle. Mr. Gavin, it took a turn worse. I see no problem, Justice. What? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some...
Objection!
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that... Really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by calling the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from the ground. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. And this is the phone that made the call. That's the phone added to the court record. Fourth floor. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet, he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. You claim he is being uncooperative. I saved Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time. Toyed? I assure you, no one's more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. So they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a one-off, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? What? I surmise that she's been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking hands. Hey! You talking shit about my dude? So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If anyone's pointing in your direction, just quickly cut them off. Sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please, come on. Is it violence against her a crime, Your Honor? Are you sure it's okay? Yeah, it's kinda cute. Now the prosecution. Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? Yes. She's a professional. Merely the tools of the training. And that would be... Spoke poorly. I was waitress in a borscht club restaurant. Then, why the camera? Of course, there's my practice of borscht in restaurants. It's before me. It's other service. Oh god. There can be a lot of things said about that other service. I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures. For example, this one. That's the defendant? Indeed, on the night of the murder. That's the one who got killed. Indeed, that is the victim. Oh shit. Order! Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. I'd say. It's the way I drop cold balls and brush them with customers. Casually. The court will casually accept this new evidence. Now, witness. Where were you at the time of the murder? So, the hideout, we call it. Kinda like the Jekyll and Hyde reference. Hyde. Probably should get to where it's from the gospel. Excuse me, the hideout? It's the more famous gangster bad guy. What the Okay, now this is just getting... You know what? I'm not even gonna say it. It's murder took place. What? What a surprise! It's lovely. Oh, this bitch. Oh, of course, my courtroom door there for you. Very much nice one. Coffee. Yes, there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, J.D. Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. If Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness, you will testify to the court about that night's events. Witness testimony. That fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for a game. It was cold. I was playing with hats on. Victim, his whole time in his hand unlocking at his neck. And that's when it's done. Like, terrible was happening. I from what the victim? Let's strangle him to death. Strangle? Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious the winner was the victim, Mr. Smith?
Objection!
That's ridiculous! Mr. Wright can't lose! Justice, can you come up with a more legitimate explanation? It lasted 7 years! Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. I call bullshit on that, Payne. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. These are pockets precisely the very moment of the crime. And the chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as poker head of courtroom number 3. Somehow I believe these judges are making these stories up as it goes along. Then again, I've played the other games before, and quite a few stories have come from this man. I think he means poker face. Looking at his picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side, too. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Cross-examination time. There's something weird about one of their statements. Somehow I don't believe that, because according to this one, death caused by a blow to the forehead.
Objection!
I don't think so. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Because there's only choke on borscht. No, I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime? Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet is the fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Yep, that's clearly a bruise. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit. Photo 2 added to the court record. And to the victim, his neck. Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've cut you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. Such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. But there was something different about that new photo. He said there was a locket. Well, where is it, bitch? You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. What does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see him walking on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? You are to believe this witness's testimony as is. The locket disappeared following his death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. The locket is gone. Someone must have taken it off. Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Ah. Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say... Yes? I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck. Oh, you mean this? Yes, there's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Come again? Wait a damn minute. I can already tell the Phoenix Wright fanbase. I've seen some weird shit. But Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? You confirmed it at the time of the arrest. Mission Locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. Who? The girl that was mentioned. Oh, Phoenix Wright, you sly dog. Mr. Wright has a locket, too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Well, now, the results of the spoke game led to the murder. Perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear that the defendant lost. Badly. You got something to say, Olga? Miss Orley, will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Sorry guys, I can't exactly do a great female Russian. If that is the stuff we feel, but clearly it is. Came again with 3,500 points chips for each man. How should it come into precise? Small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. The master and defendant played with all chips on table winners. All that loss was decided, and it was both table winner. Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Many times have I heard those words. I've done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor. Now I regret what I've done. Common tale, but true. He thinks the judge watches too many old courtrooms. I think you're wrong to something, Pablo. This city hasn't lost in 7 years. His testimony must be wrong. How do we know they weren't on opposite sides and they just got shifted? A lot of questions here, but let's go for the cross-examination. Small and large. I think we need some more information about it. Are the chips in this photo? Oh, the chips, that was. Of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? You know what? We need more information. I need to explain a bit about these chips. Explain? What's there to explain? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a moist avocado. Not a... Thanks. Now I'll be pressed to have better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles? Yes, as we had seen before, it was game, not gamble. Or perhaps from Capcom to understand. It's a chip. 100 chip and 1,000 chip. It is not money. Justice. So, don't you find her comments interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. No, this one wants me just to add her testimony. Indeed, this is evidence. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. Where I was going with this, if you were a witness, you would be so kind. Your Honor. It's the victim. How do we know that, It's not labeled or anything, so... there's something fishy going on with this. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. I glanced at the pictures enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten. Are you sure you ain't high on stuff, Payne? Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course, duh. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. The combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, my calculations are correct. Let's see, 3 plus 1, 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, you add them up. How much is it? Do it yourself. You weren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. Why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, let's determine why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. What? Both are right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. All chips are indeed shown in this photograph. There can be only one answer. What is it? The value of the chips is the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points. Not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why? That does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. Wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed. The victim did have the larger number of chips still. Yeah, but not the higher number of points, necessarily. Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do low math. Add the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and the defendant had 4,100 points! Well now. It seems Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible. The client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Yeah. Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? I like it. It's interesting how she's able to catch that. Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeats never happened. Struggle with words now, huh, Payne? Let's ask ourselves up. Excuse me. Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley? I don't want to be saying this, but actually, see what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. Hold on a second. Don't they do a blink? Cheat? You don't mean a trick? Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing! Yes, cheat in the last hand. King aims the chips as they are. Looks pretty legit to me, kings and aces versus sevens and aces. There's nothing on the cards themselves either. Great. Just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, in this case, certainly for the interest. Witness, please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
Last hand, both men had full house. As fortune's coming the deck, ace to king. Both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. This moment, king goes 500 down. It was exposed. The palm of his hand, poor Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning?
Oh, now you... I thought I smelled a cover-up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. If you've actually played poker, it's pretty high-scoring, but not really. There are higher-scoring things. Ways to make, in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gannon? What's a full house? Oh, my lawyers these days. You don't know your poker? Well, I don't know. What? Apollo might not have played poker. You might be busy passing law school. Or you're busy fucking around. Jeez, man. I can't say this bodes well for your case. Or career.
Is this some kind of secret code poker ring?
Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. The cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes it 3 of a kind. Good. Approach your hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. It doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. Well, they both have full house. There ain't no cheating either. Don't forget, there's an easy way to make a full house. And go into a few facilities. You cheat. Not necessary. The defense may cross-examine. If you did cheat in last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat?
And at full house. Turn deck, ace to king.
It's too obvious. Well, clearly it's not, so we're gonna need some more information about that, sweetheart. How was it clear?
Well, the defendant. The 5th ace.
A 5th ace? Well, there are 2 decks, so that could be possible.
I know both hands very well. This hand has 3 aces. 2.
Okay, this is bullshit. We obviously saw the photo. The hand. Oh my god. This guy with his stupid puns. Now let's take a look at this even further here. You can obviously see there ain't no 5 aces here. Even though there's 2 hands, which would make a total of 8 aces. Or 2 decks. Excuse me. Yeah, we doing. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Pang's joke. Thank you, Christoph. Very well. Witness while this detail to her testimony, please.
That has 3 aces.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, sweetheart. It appears the witness is mistaken. Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point at your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction. Point contradicts the witness's testimony. Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces.
Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the third ace in question.
Objection!
Nope. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand.
Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating, alright? What's going on right here in this corner?
2 aces in each player's hand does make force. Hardly proof of cheating.
Please! It's true. I've seen it. Please. I swear.
That's odd. She must be lying, yes, she's most sincere. She's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne.
Yes?
The player's hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? These cards don't prove cheating what's going on. Nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? You did point out that the victim's hand quite a bit that had 3 aces in it. But they could also, but remember what the defendant said, or Mr. Wright said. They played with 2 decks to avoid that, which means there's 8 aces in total. I'd like to see the victim's hands. It was the victim's hands that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you... Very well. Receive evidence. Victim's hand. Well, time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice.
Yes, sir.
When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using arrow keys to turn it which way you can be in and out. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so yeah, this clearly sees there's 2 decks, red and blue. Well, that blue card is interesting.
What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. That card is...
What did you say? What was that, Miss Sword?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, Mr. Gavin, yes. Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? Cheat? I'm assuming it's to swap those damn hands. I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend. Comrade, should I say. The dealer. It's clear now.
Wait, so you mean... Miss Worley?
She's the cheater. A professional.
Order!
Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Yeah, I was about to say pause there, Apollo. Jesus.
Your Honor,
These are called the testimony we just heard.
that's impossible. It's hand.
Ergo, Miss Orga only conspired to cheat on my client with the victim, Mr. Shane Smith. Hang on, I'm turning this up. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. You don't mean it. The defense isn't accusing the witness, it's the Orley. Three? Damn straight. I'm for justice. There are 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am.
The defense accused the witness only of murder.
How? Can someone tell me how? That is literally defying several laws of physics. Mr. Payne, where's your witness over order?
It appears he has lost, consciousness.
Mr. Justice. Seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What?
I did it! I held out! I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. Prosecution will need to make further inquiry.
Objection!
Objection? Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards have a different colored back. My tongue. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right now when you're about to get off the hook?
Ridiculous. And no, Mr. Payne, let the man cook. The Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent. It was ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
2 decks at the club have different colored backs. Blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. We used different colors, and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. See, that's odd. For some reason, they gave this impression we'd be using the blue cards.
Yeah, too. Just someone said something about blue cards. Whatever.
We had 1 card in the wrong color button.
It means there was cheating.
Yes, the card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Well, yes. Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course, it was
Oh. It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped?
When was the card swapped into the deck?
Before, during, or after? Someone tells me after. That's the only way that would make sense. Perhaps it happened after the murder.
What's that? Ridiculous. What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Objection!
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? It takes silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little.
Oh?
Even when the backs of cards are a different color? If you pull that during the game, you'd be caught in no time.
Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hand was shown. After.
What's with those objections, Payne? Okay, this is going past silly and straight onto crazy. I ask again, let's play cheating after the game's over. What do that?
Indeed. It's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another?
Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? Game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room. Alive, that is. Defendant, Phoenix Wright, no witness, over order. Well, she did admit it. Someone else. Interesting option. She did say she thought she tampered with Phoenix's card. Could be wrong. It was a public restaurant, though. One who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orly either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As a defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly.
Yes, I know. She was the one who dealt the cards, right? Just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
The card was swapped during the game, the office. Phoenix, what kind of trick do you have up your sleeve this time? Something you would like to share with the court, Mr. Wright. Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was thinking about how much fun this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. What if the card wasn't the defendant and it wasn't Miss Orly? Then who was it?
Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that, indeed, after someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. That someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did it didn't know two colors of cards were used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person placed the fifth ace with a king. Whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace. All he knew was that the game had been won with a full house. Took a king from the table.
But there's one problem. According to our casework, this person doesn't exist.
True, not until now. You have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. That's more than a possibility. Okay, some people have gotten this soundtrack do be jamming. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime.
What?
Indeed, Nani? I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial is proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident there were only 3 people. With this new evidence, shall we say, returns to this issue. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Sir. Very well. Trial will resume in 20 minutes. The 20th of 52 a.m. District Court back in defendant lobby number 3. Well, so far so good. I'd say we should indeed keep going. That was quite unexpected, Miss Wright. Someone claimed there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defendant to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you have allowed out one bed, Christoph. Justice. Yes, sir. Judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without him. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear. Is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You wonder about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my father. See? Ooh. Cute. Very cute. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'd all like to know with who. Although some people do make some weird fan theories. Most people are. I shall meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night. Was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. It's unreasonable for you to think I might cheat.
I never, honest, but
It is odd that I managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night instead. Poker.
eh?
You see, poker's all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker,
Like trial?
figure out what your opponent is thinking. when you win.
Yeah, but that's harder than it sounds.
I think it is. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts. Their body language can become a valuable source of information.
You're kidding!
A witness, for instance, Zoe. It didn't seem like she would hide something. She would touch the back of her neck to certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
No. Come on, who noticed that?
Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reader. That's the secret to win. Someone taught me. I'll pass the secret on to you.
I'm not worthy. There's no way I'll pick up on these signals.
No. You can do it. Huh? Sorry, but I keep triggering on to play by accident. You just don't know it yet.
What's he talking about?
But you will, soon. Almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know I haven't told the truth to anyone.
What? I knew it!
I have my reasons, of course. All shall be well. I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power.
My, power?
I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. Damn it. Well, I suppose part 2 will have to wait to finish this trial out. Plus, we will see. Of course. And I did promise you guys a double, so that will actually do it for this episode right here. Episode 2, we will resume and finish episode 1, Turnabout Trump of Apologize Ace Attorney. But till then, thank you guys so much for watching. I do really hope you enjoyed this. I know I enjoyed playing this. If you guys want to check the game out again, I'll put the link down in excuse me, down in the description down below. It's on Steam, of course, multiple consoles as well. Go ahead and pick it up yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good time.